Back in December of 2025, I posted a video showcasing what I had received for Christmas. One of the gifts was this EST speaker strobe. Specifically, it is a G4HF-RF-S2. Alongside it, this strobe, an Edwards G1R VM. Both complement each other as they are from the EST Genesis line of notification appliances by Edwards Systems Technology. Today, they're going to be on my ES50X demonstration system, as I have added voice evacuation capability to this demonstration system. This is System Test 4. If you remember, last System Test 3, I tested some low frequency horns. Even looking at this, you might be able to tell that the positioning of these notification appliances is not quite the same as it was in System Test 3. The board has changed quite a bit in layout since you last saw it in a video, and that is mostly due to the extended functionality of the system. There are a couple of new devices on this board that I will showcase to you now. But first, let's prep the smoke detectors. Beginning here with the middle row of devices, as I have already shown you these two notification appliances, we have a System Sensor 1451 ionization smoke detector with a very unique detector head that contrasts it with other photoelectric smoke detectors manufactured by System Sensor during the 90s, early 2000s. In the middle of the board, we have the good old System Sensor SD365 photoelectric smoke detector that has been on this board pretty much ever since I built it originally. On the far right, we have an Extron WPB103 AV wall plate with audio in and computer in ports on the plate. More context will be given about this later when its function is demonstrated in relation to the voice evacuation. Moving on to the bottom row, we have a Firelite BG12LX that doesn't look very Firelite, but that's only because I put the cover from a Silent Night IDP-PULL-SA onto the actual switch body of the BG12. Over here is a BG12LX. It's been here for a long time, and for every test I've done of the board on this channel. Of course, we still have the ES50X demonstration panel, and then down below it we have this zone interface module, which is controlling this ionization detector, and then a monitor module, which is controlling this BG12L. Over here is still the ANN100 annunciator. It just has been moved down to the lower part of the board. And up above it is the SlenderTech Solutions IAS100, Audio Distribution System External Hardware Unit. Giving you a look at exactly what this is, it's just a housing cabinet for a bunch of components that I need to have hooked up to a computer in order for this whole voice evacuation setup to function. In here we have a phone, which will be demonstrated why this is here a little later, but basically its output is going into this audio interface up here, and the output of the audio interface is going into an amplifier that sits behind the board, which is going into the speaker. Additionally, in here we have a SJ@JX CY-1121, which is just an arcade controller board. You can hook up switches and buttons to it through these connector pins, and you can hook it up to a computer, and in this case I'm just using it so the computer can somehow recognize that the fire alarm system has activated. As you can see, this bottom button here is hooked up to two wires which run into the fire alarm control panel and hook up to the normally open and common terminals on a silenceable alarm relay. When the fire alarm goes off, the relay closes, and therefore this circuit closes here, which triggers the button, which then triggers the board to send a signal to the computer that the button is triggered. Now, what's all this talk about a computer? Well, this audio interface is connected to the computer through USB, and the computer has 3 pieces of software running on it to pull the voice evacuation part of the demonstration off. First, we have Voicemeeter Banana, which is basically just serving as a general audio mixing solution here. I have an input for the PA microphone, which is what the phone is serving as in that cabinet. And I have an audio player here that can be used to play voice evacuation messages to the speaker. Here is an application I programmed called EVAC Control, where I can choose messages and tones for various conditions, although we will only be testing the fire portion of this application today. And finally, we have another program I wrote called FACP Connect, which basically communicates with the board. So when the contact is closed on that board, communicates to this application, which communicates to EVAC Control, which combines whatever audio file you have selected for the message and the tone into one audio file, and then pops it into this audio player and plays it until the FACP Connect application detects that that circuit is no longer closed, which means the alarm has been silenced, as that's a silenceable alarm relay. And then it will tell EVAC Control to stop playing the message and tone. So EVAC Control will stop the audio player in Voicemeeter. A more detailed explanation of how this system actually works will be posted eventually as a separate addendum video to this system test. So now let's actually get to testing the system. To start, I will demonstrate the background music auxiliary input capability of this system, which basically involves plugging any kind of audio player device into this aux jack on that wall plate. I have chosen to plug an MP3 player into the jack so that I can play some copyright-free music over the speaker. So there's the music. It is playing. Let's pretend this is like a grocery store or something, because this seems like some kind of janky setup a grocery store would have. Now, the phone you had seen in the IAS 100 earlier serves to allow for public address on this system. Here is another phone that is part of my house phone system, and they have a feature called push to talk. So I can press that and go to the device, which I have named MNS system. That's that specific phone that is located in the IAS 100. And I can select it, and it'll connect. It will stop the music, and apparently it's going to glitch out, because now it's not. Okay. Alright, let's try this again. You're supposed to pick up the phone, press push to talk, select which device, which would be the mass notification system, press it again, it's supposed to connect,
and then I can talk over it. Okay, great. Now, let's try this again. We will be testing the fire alarm system. Please disregard any signals you may see or hear.
When I'm done, I just hang up, put it back, and it's a very quick, easy, and convenient solution for wireless pages over this mass notification system. Now that we have alerted everybody that we will be demonstrating the fire alarm system, or rather we said testing it, let's pull the Firelite BG12LX to activate it.
There has been an emergency reported in the building. Leave the building immediately using marked stairways and exits. Do not use elevators.
And there is that functionality. Now, let's reset the pull station. Then we can reset the fire alarm system. Sticking with the initial EST voice and tone theme, let's test the BG12LX again, but this time we have changed the tone and message. And gotten rid of the background music as well.
Attention, please. An emergency has been reported. All occupants go to the nearest stairwell exit and walk down to your assigned re-entry floor or main lobby. Do not use the elevators. Walk to the nearest stairway.
Here's a demonstration of some issue that I'm not sure exactly why occurs. This detector loses power for a little bit after the system resets, but not immediately after, which causes the system to go into trouble, thinking that there's an open circuit. There is not technically an open circuit. I have the zone interface module connected to the resettable power, so I don't really know why this happens. Maybe it just has to do with the fact this is an older detector, but now it's blinking again. And now that should clear. There it goes. If you have any idea what is causing this, please let me know in the comments. Now we'll test the SD365, and I have changed the tone and message to Wheelock Safe Path themed ones. I have some canned smoke, and I will spray it into this detector.
May I have your attention, please? An emergency has been reported in the building. While this is being verified, please leave the building and report to the designated assembly area for your group. May I have your attention?
Should be aired out now. Okay, let's reset the system. Okay, apparently it was not aired out well enough. It also is not blinking at all. Yeah, I'm sorry, what? There it goes. No. There it is. Unused point. That's just false. What are you talking about? Detector 21? That doesn't even exist. Okay, well, let's try resetting again. Please don't remain in alarm. I would hope that you're going to clear. If you would, please. Please clear. This is totally false. Yeah, see, now it's just gone. This detector's acting really weird. All right, well, I'm not going to worry about that. Let us change the message and tone and continue to test the system. This detector is still solid for some reason. I do not know why the LEDs have not gone back to flashing. The system is not in alarm, as you can see. Regardless, I have changed the message and tone to Firelite themed ones that I believe are from the early 2000s. To activate them, we will be testing the Firelite BG12L.
May I have your attention, please? May I have your attention, please? The signal you have just heard indicates a report of a fire in this building. Please proceed to the nearest exit and leave the building. Do not re-enter the building unless directed to do so by the proper authorities. May I have your attention, please? May I...
We have already reset the pull station, so I will reset the system. What the? Why don't you close? To finish off System Test 4, we will be activating the new 1451 ionization smoke detector. I have once again changed the tone in the message. These are Slender Tech Solutions themed. By the way, if you're not sure what that is, it's my fabricated company thing that doesn't actually exist. But anyway, I have made this message with AI voice generation, which I think is responsible use for generative AI, being that I, first of all, made my own unique voice, and second of all, I don't think you could really tell if this was an AI voice if you heard it over a fire alarm system in public. And third, I'm not going to hire a voice actor for something this frivolous, so I just went the cheap free route. The tone I have compiled from a bunch of different horn strobe sounds that I have heard from various different fire alarm manufacturers, made a interesting, unique sounding tone that I have titled Mechanical Chime. Well, anyway, back to the canned smoke again. I really hate shaking it. Okay, this detector really just doesn't want to activate, does it? Okay, this doesn't make any sense. All right, it didn't do this the other day. We're just gonna magnet test it.
Attention, attention. A fire emergency has been reported in this building. Proceed calmly to the nearest exit. Do not re-enter the building until the emergency has cleared.
Yeah, I don't know why that didn't go into alarm before. The smoke just wasn't doing it today. So, magnet test did the trick. Let's reset the system. Hopefully it's not still in alarm. Thank you for watching this video of this System Test 4 demonstration. If you have stuck around till this time, thank you for your support. Please subscribe to my channel and also like the video if you liked it and dislike it if you didn't like it. And comment down below what your favorite device is here and any suggestions you have about this board for future tests. Oh, and one thing I forgot to do.
Attention, we have concluded testing of the fire alarm system. If the alarm sounds after this point, please respond with the proper evacuation procedures. Thank you.
Well, anyway, I will see you next time I do a video, or potentially System Test 5, but that likely won't be anytime soon. So, thanks for watching. See you later.